so exciting. I need to see what is in there. It has been hidden for 2,000 years. She was a mother, she was a wife, she was a queen, she was a goddess, and we are trying to find out where it leads us. For centuries, the legendary Queen Cleopatra has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters alike. A ruler, a lover, a strategist. Her story is woven with romance, power, and mystery. But one question has remained unanswered for over 2,000 years. Where is Cleopatra's final resting place? Recent discoveries have reignited the search for her lost tomb, and what they found inside is nothing short of a miracle. Could this be the greatest archaeological breakthrough of our time? Join us as we uncover the mysteries of Cleopatra's tomb and explore the surprising clues hidden beneath the Egyptian sands. Ancient Egypt was one of the most advanced civilizations in history, revered for its fascinating and unique characteristics. Let's dive into this past and uncover the truth behind one of history's most fascinating personalities, the legacy of great civilizations. The search for Cleopatra's tomb continues. Ancient Egypt stood out from many other civilizations of its time, making remarkable advancements in social structures, awe-inspiring architecture, and engineering feats that still leave us wondering how they achieved such sophistication. Similarly, the Macedonian Empire, at its peak, was second to none in terms of its accomplishments. Cleopatra surpassed the kingdoms of her predecessors, leaving behind legacies of power and laying the foundations for many of the systems still in use today. Both empires were stunning examples of excellence, producing brilliant minds in the arts, literature, politics, and leadership. One of these extraordinary personalities was Cleopatra, the legendary Queen of Kings. She was the product of two of history's most influential civilizations, inheriting the best of both worlds. With a powerful lineage such as hers, she embodied qualities that set her apart: breathtaking beauty, a sharp intellect that could humble even the wisest, strategic foresight that outmaneuvered her rivals, and an undeniable charisma in matters of love. In many ways, Cleopatra was like a goddess born of two legacies of greatness. However, she lived during a period of political turmoil. During her father's reign, Cleopatra, of Greek descent, was the daughter of Ptolemy XII, ruler of Egypt's Ptolemaic dynasty, a lineage that lasted nearly 3 centuries. But by the time of her birth, the dynasty was in crisis. The growing power of the Roman Empire loomed over Egypt, disguised as an ally but slowly eroding its wealth and influence. This emerging threat put tremendous pressure on Egypt's economy, setting the stage for the turbulent events that shaped Cleopatra's fate. The rise of Cleopatra began when King Ptolemy XII found himself in a difficult position, stuck between satisfying the demands of the powerful Roman Empire and appeasing the frustrated Egyptian elite. This political tension eventually led to his temporary exile from Alexandria. However, it was not long before he was reinstated as the rightful ruler. These turbulent events began a series of unexpected twists and turns that shaped the life, loves, and legendary story of Cleopatra. Many tales have been woven about Cleopatra, often exaggerating certain aspects of her character. One of the most well-known stories portrays her as a master of seduction, using her charm and cunning to bend even the most powerful men to her will. This so-called serpentine power is said to have played a role in breaking alliances within the mighty Roman Empire. While these accounts are not entirely false, they have been sensationalized over time. But who was Cleopatra really? Before we continue, it's crucial to understand that, like many historical figures who craved power, Cleopatra was far more than just a temptress who relied on her looks to manipulate men. However, she was no saint either. She was a shrewd strategist who sometimes resorted to extreme measures to achieve her goals. A highly intelligent and multilingual ruler, Cleopatra wasn't just a figurehead. She actively asserted her authority over Egypt and other regions. While she was often described as beautiful, her appeal wasn't merely about physical looks. Historical records suggest her beauty wasn't so extraordinary that it left every man spellbound. Instead, what truly set her apart was her captivating personality, her ability to engage in conversation, and the commanding way she carried herself. Born in 69 BC, during a period of political instability, Cleopatra was raised in a dynasty on the brink of collapse. She ruled alongside her father after his reinstatement, getting her first taste of power at a young age. However, by this time, the Ptolemaic dynasty was a shadow of its former glory, reduced to little more than a Roman vassal state. Despite this decline, Cleopatra was determined to claim her rightful place and hold on to power at all costs. At just 17 years old, Cleopatra staked her claim to the throne following the death of her father. However, despite Ptolemy Xi's will explicitly stating that his eldest son, Ptolemy XIII, and his daughter, Cleopatra VII, were to rule Egypt together as husband and wife, this arrangement was met with resistance. Ptolemy XIII saw his sister not as a co-ruler but as a threat to his power. This rivalry quickly escalated, putting Cleopatra's life in danger and forcing her to flee Egypt. Seeking refuge in Syria, she waited for an opportunity to reclaim what she believed was rightfully hers. Meanwhile, across the Mediterranean, the powerful Roman general Julius Caesar was pursuing his defeated rival, Pompey. After losing the civil war against Caesar, Pompey fled to Egypt, hoping to find sanctuary in Ptolemy Xii's court. However, in a bid to win Caesar's favor and eliminate any potential political complications, Ptolemy XIII ordered Pompey's execution and presented his severed head to Caesar. Rather than earning Caesar's gratitude, this act horrified him. Many historians believe that this moment led Caesar to question Ptolemy Xi's leadership. Egypt was a crucial grain supplier for Rome, and ensuring stability in the region was in the empire's best interest. Determined to settle the growing political unrest, Caesar decided to intervene. Sensing the danger Cleopatra posed to his rule, Ptolemy XIII took extreme measures, blocking every possible route she could use to reach Caesar. He then seized the opportunity to present his case, arguing that he was the rightful ruler of Egypt. However, Cleopatra was not one to be outmaneuvered. In a daring move, she secretly entered the palace under the cover of night. There are various accounts of how she accomplished this feat, but one of the most famous suggests that she had herself wrapped in a carpet and smuggled into Caesar's private chambers. Once face-to-face with the Roman leader, Cleopatra used her intelligence, wit, and undeniable charm to captivate him. It wasn't long before she had secured his attention and ultimately his support. With Caesar's backing, Cleopatra finally achieved what she had long desired: the throne of Egypt and the seat of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Standing firmly by her side, Caesar ensured that she was reinstated as co-ruler alongside Ptolemy XIII, as stated in their father's will. However, this uneasy power balance was short-lived. Ptolemy XIII died while attempting to suppress a rebellion, leaving the throne vacant. Seizing the opportunity to secure her fragile position as Egypt's sole ruler, Cleopatra took no chances. She systematically eliminated all potential rivals, including 2 of her own siblings. In doing so, she positioned her son with Caesarion, as her co-ruler. But Cleopatra's reign faced another major upheaval. The assassination of Julius Caesar on the Ides of March sent shockwaves through the Roman Empire, plunging it into chaos.